How's it going, everybody? Chadley here, and in today's video we're going to be updating Ampmaster Flak. This is our Guerillas in the Mist build for Flak, and honestly the damage you can put out with this thing is absolutely insane. So we're just going to jump right into the gear because not too much has changed since the level 65 level cap increase in DLC 4. But for the most part, our main mobbing weapon with this build is going to be the URAD Reflux. Now this is a URAD build, so you guys are going to want this anointment on all of your weapons, except for occasionally on your corrosive weapon for killing bosses. You're probably going to want consecutive hits on there. But for everything else, you guys are going to want the URAD anointment. Reflux is definitely your best bet in terms of just straight up mobbing. This thing just absolutely destroys everything. You guys should know that by now for Flak. But some other alternatives you guys can do for the Reflux, a Lucian's Call with the URAD anointment is fantastic. Also, the Dakota and the Hellwalker are also amazing. Sometimes I'll just throw on a Hellwalker because this thing destroys everything and just run around like a total badass and kill everything with that. So any of those will work great for your mobbing slot. Now for our second slot, we're just going to need something to take out some single target enemies and not really have this be immune to anything like heavyweights and stuff like that. So my personal favorite is a normal damage smog with the URAD anointment. It does not have to be a smog. I know this is pretty hard to get your hands on. Otherwise, you guys can throw on like a normal damage light show with the URAD anointment or a hyper focus if you guys really want to do that. I wouldn't use this in any sort of scaled up activity. Just base Mayhem 10, I would be using that. Also, a normal damage convergence works well too for that slot. So then now our third slot is going to be for killing bosses. Now for armored bosses, a corrosive light show with consecutive hits works great. A corrosive smog works great. Corrosive convergence or a corrosive monarch. Any of those work great for the armored bosses. For the armored bosses, I definitely stick to consecutive hits. But for flesh bosses, a URAD Fire Monarch works fantastic, or a URAD Fire Smog, or anything like that. Any of the light shows, smogs, and convergences are normally my go-tos for the boss killing slots, and just match the element to whatever, and you guys will be good to go. And then finally, our final slot is going to go to just a mass mobbing weapon like the Plague Bear. This, with the URAD anointment, just destroys everything, and like the Malawan Takedown Bridge, you can just clear through that in less than a minute with this thing. It's absolutely ridiculous how quick clear speeds are with this, and it's just really good for staying alive and mobbing. And then I just like to have a shock and a fire variant depending on what kind of enemies I'm fighting. You guys can take your pick between those two, but normally I'll be running a shock URAD variant. For our shield, we are going to be running a front loader. I just recommend you guys getting different action skill and bonus element variants of the front loader. The shield effects really don't matter. Just get whatever kinds of bonus elements that you need just for all scenarios. And then our grenade is going to be a Mitosis Hunter Seeker. It's going to help you guys get your Guerillas in the Mist back quicker. And you can just spam those. And then like the shields, just have the different bonus elements for different scenarios for matching certain types of bosses and enemies. And then the class mod that we're going to be using 99% of the time is going to be a Cosmic Stalker. This just allows our damage to go through the roof, especially if you guys can get a 3 big game, 2 interplanetary stalker roll. Those are definitely the best in my opinion. And then for solo bossing, you guys are going to swap over to a stack bot. You guys can just destroy single target bosses when you don't have any sort of kill skills or stuff like that. This is definitely going to be your go-to class mod. You can also use a bounty hunter, but definitely the stack bot works the best. Now for our artifacts, since this build is all about doing as much damage as possible, the Pearl is still going to be our best option for that. If you guys do not have the Pearl, just throw on like a Snowdrift Deathless or an Atom Bomb Deathless or like an Atom Bomb Victory Rush. Any of those will be your second best bet. So let's go ahead and jump into our skill tree. I'm going to have all 3 trees up right here if you guys need to copy that into your game. But otherwise, we are going to start here in the Hunter skill tree. We're going to be putting 5 points in Interplanetary Stalker for the flat damage boost, and also the specific bonuses definitely help out, especially in like the Malawan Takedown. That robot bonus is huge, and you guys are going to get a ton of extra damage out of that. Then 3 points in Leave No Trace, especially when we're in Guerillas in the Mist. This is going to allow us to shoot way longer before reloading, and just definitely help out your damage output. And then 5 points into Hunter's Eye for the crit damage and the armor damage. That makes a big difference. And 3 points into head count so we can get Guerillas in the Mist back faster. And then we need 2 more points in the end to get to Megavore. So you guys can put these wherever you want. I definitely recommend Two Fang or Second Intention. This isn't going to help out the multi-projectiles that much, but more so the single projectiles like the Smog and the Plague Bearer, those types of things are going to benefit greatly from 2-Fang. But if you guys do not plan on using those at all, definitely put 2 points into Second Intention there, but I will leave that completely up to you. Now moving down, 3 points into Big Game. This is awesome, especially when using a Cosmic Stalker. Then 3 points in Most Dangerous Game for the gun damage and crit damage, 1 point into Galactic Shadow, and 1 point into Megavore. Now taking a look at our Stalker skill tree, we're going to do 5 points into Furious Attack. This is going to be up basically at all times at max stacks with this build. Definitely really easy to do. 5 points into Overclocks because that fire rate makes a huge difference in our damage output. And then 1 point into Lick the Wounds, 3 points into Turn Tail and Run, and then we need 1 more point to get down. And at that point, we might as well use Eager to Impress just to get our Guerillas in the Mist back quicker. And then 5 points into Hidden Machine. This is a huge damage bonus and is going to allow us to unlock Unblinking Eye. This is definitely the best augment to pair with Guerillas in the Mist. Makes a huge difference in damage, so definitely have these two equipped when you are running Guerillas in the Mist. Now finally, for our Master skill tree, we're going to do 3 points to Persistence Hunter for the gun damage and making our Guerillas in the Mist last longer. And then we just need 2 more points to get down. You can put those wherever you like. I just do 1 and 1. And then 5 points into Frenzy. This is a huge damage bonus when using our pets. And then 1 point into Heat Bites to help proc up Frenzy. 1 point into Who Rescued Who to keep your pet alive. And then 3 more points into Hive Mind. This is going to help you guys survive a little bit because we are going to mitigate some damage. And then finally, our last 2 points are going to go into Barbaric Yacht because this is going to boost our Skag's bonus effects. So we get 9% damage and 18% gun damage, and overall is a big boost to our damage. And then for our modifiers for this build, I definitely recommend Speed Demon. Having that speed bonus is huge, and it definitely helps your survivability. Medium, I always like Healy Avenger. For hards, I would prefer Drone Ranger. I just don't feel like re-rolling right now. So ticked off, really, I don't notice it that much, and is just super easy to deal with. And then for a very hard, Postmortem is usually the easiest to deal with, but you guys can make these modifiers whatever you'd like and whatever suits your needs. So like always, for these build videos, I'm going to run you guys through the start of the Maliwan True Takedown, and my bonus elements on my Shield and Grenade are bonus Shock on the Front Loader and bonus Corrosive on the Hunter Seeker. This is pretty much what I run most of the time, especially here in the Maliwan Takedown. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Otherwise, every time you basically have your Guerillas in the Mist ready to be used, just go ahead and use it, and you guys will be doing a lot of damage. And then I definitely recommend focusing our jetpack heavy, or not heavies, but jetpack guys once we start the takedown. And then otherwise, rock the reflux for most of your mobbing. And when you need to take out single targets, just go ahead and pull out the Smog or your Light Show. Really does not matter. Both of them are going to be killing enemies incredibly quickly. And then if you guys want a lot of quick mobbing, just pull out the Plague Bearer, and you guys will have no issues with that. And then occasionally you will need to pull out the Smog to maybe like take out a heavy or something like that. But otherwise, just keep going invisible when you can. Spam those Plague Bearers or whatever you want to use, and you guys will just tear through all enemies in the game with absolutely no issues. And now for the Kraken, all we need to do is go invisible when we're starting, pull out our corrosive killing or armored killing weapon. Just keep moving around. Occasionally you'll get hit. Now, unfortunately, the shield is kind of the reason I ended up going down there. It blocked a lot of my shots. Then you can swap back over to the reflux or whatever, and you guys will be good to go. Just spam, get rid of everybody else, and you will have no issues in the Maliwan Takedown. Yeah, guys, that's basically Ampmaster Flak in a nutshell. If you have played previous iterations of this build, it's pretty much exactly the same, especially our last iteration where we turned this into a URAD build. Seriously, not much has changed since the level 65 and DLC 4 updates, so you guys should be good to go. Just make sure you guys get your hands on the URAD gear, like a Smog, Light Show, those types of things, and you will have absolutely no issues with all content here in Mayhem 10. Yeah, guys, hopefully you found this build video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it to let me know, and if you guys have any questions about the build, make sure to leave a comment down below or come over to our Twitch. We stream every single night, and I'd be happy to answer all of your questions over there. If you guys want to see more Borderlands content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to have videos all the time. There's still a lot more build videos to update and new builds to make, so make sure you guys are subscribed. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.